Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the Amateur Weekend Cup. This is Group B, round 5, so it's our final match of the day for this group. We may be able to jump into another group if they are still going, but I am joined by Zelda, like always. How are you going?
I'm doing well, and we've got Total Anarchy here up against anything really. I just like to say, Meepo ban. What the hell?
I feel as if they've just pressed random for. I don't think they're too phased at the moment because for you don't know, if you don't want to hear the result of the current bracket at the moment, just close your ears for a few seconds. Okay, we have Total Anarchy currently last on the bracket, and anything really, they're sitting second. If Total Anarchy can defeat anything really, we could possibly move into a two, maybe three-way tie for that second position on the bracket. So we'll see if Total Anarchy can take a game out of anything really, and we see that Pudge. So this could be a very, very fun game to watch.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, definitely, and exactly as you were saying, it can cause a tie between multiple teams here. We do see that next assassin getting picked up with the Visage, and there's the Chen as well.
Oh, we're going for fountain hooks here. Can they pull off the fountain hooks? If they do this, could be a big upset, or it could just fail absolutely miserable. I hope it doesn't fail miserable, because that would be a little bit shame to watch for the final game of the Group B today. But we will see how things eventually progress.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, definitely, and we do see that Zeus get banned out, same with the Owl Devourer. This is some very interesting bans. Oh, there's the Ogre Magi.
Radiant team ban.
I have no idea what's going on.
Oh man, Ogre Magi, that bloodlust, it's deadly.
Yeah, it's actually, you know, in certain lineups I can see Ogre actually being used, but I mean, it's not like anything really have really revealed anything to say, oh yeah, we're going to totally pick up an Ogre or potentially pick up an Ogre. It looks like they're just going for the more aggression style play with this Visage and Nyx Assassin.
And then they pick up the Batrider. They've got fantastic initiation. You have your Nyx Assassin Batrider. Even Visage himself brings a lot of initiation to the table himself. That Grave Chill, it doesn't sound like much, but it's enough slow that can absolutely cost you your life. Even followed up by a few heroes such as that Nyx Assassin or Batrider, and you'll basically fall. And the Timbersaw is now picked up for Total Anarchy. I wonder which lane they will run him in, if they want to put him in that off lane, or put him more in that farm orientated safe role, which would be a little bit strange, but the way picking and banning is going so far, well, I wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Timbersaw. He should be in the off lane considering they've got that Pudge, so he won't be in mid. You do see the occasional Timbersaw in the mid lane. But yeah, definitely, I think the off lane spot is there for him. I could be wrong though, this is really weird, so...
Would be
I mean,
interesting
anything
is
really seem like they're going for a more normal pick build, but their bans are really weird.
what would be interesting is if we saw a Chen jungle with the Timbersaw. I mean, that could be next level stuff right there. You have your carry in the lane, you have your Chen and Timbersaw be the supports, where Timbersaw farms with the Chen, does some pulling of his own. And then it would be a little bit greedy, but it could work out in the end. But anyway, we have that anti-mage being picked up on the side of anything really. So they're looking to bring this game at least to the 30-minute mark, unless they can some kind of miracle pull it out earlier. But anti-mage will be wanting to farm this up. And against the heroes is against, there's basically no lockdown, so anti-mage is just going to be able to get on out of there. And speaking of lockdown, they do pick up the Naga Siren.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, and Naga Siren helps set this team up a little bit more. You know, can allow Timbersaw to get just into the position. Chen and Pudge, of course, you know, the creeps and whatnot. The interesting thing though is this anti-mage on the side of anything really, he's not really like, as in, you've got the current lineup where you've got your Visage, Nyx Assassin, and Batrider, and they're generally very mobile around the map. And there's a Weaver. Same with the Weaver actually. Weaver, you can see it move through the lanes and whatnot. Whereas Anti-Mage is going to be the hero that they're just going to sit there and farm up for like half an hour until he gets his Manta and whatnot. I'm assuming he'll probably go for the Battle Fury early if it allows him. And there's an Invoke. Okay, this is really weird.
Very weird lineup. You never see an Invoker Pudge together, nor do you see a Pudge and a Timbersaw together. And then you've got your two supports of Chen and Nagasign that are just thrown into the mix. So I'm really curious to how they want to line up. I mean, Pudge, Chen, Nagasign, you get a nice net off, get a Pudge to follow it up with a Chen back to base. It's possible.
Yeah, it's the one thing I'd say. It's like the totally insane lineup from Total Anarchy so far. Let's introduce the teams. On the side of anything really, we do have their captain waiting for a mate, playing the anti-mage. It's Grooming Me is going to be playing on that Batrider. DHKT is on the Nyx Assassin. Exposed is playing the Weaver, and last but not least, we have Sarcastic Ninja who's playing a Visage.
And over for Total Anarchy, you have their captain, and Andre W will be on that Invoker. You'll have Timbersaw being played by Beetlejuice. Santa, or Gothic Santa, will be on that Shen. Terabyte will be played on that Nagasiren. And finally, Pudge will be being played by Chrome.
Yes, with that very nice Pudge set.
If he doesn't, does he have Dragon Claw? He doesn't have Dragon Claw. No, that doesn't count.
I actually quite like the look of the Whale Hook personally. Like, don't get me wrong, Dragon Claw is nice, but it's so weird for a hero like Pudge.
I reckon it looks pretty. It looks a bit weird when it's paused and the hook's coming out. The chain looks like 2D sprites being crossed over each other. They look like 1999 sprites, but the hook itself looks pretty cool. So we do have the resume. Andre looks like he'll be going top. There will be a tri-lane going bottom. Timbersaw, Nagasiren, and Chen. I wonder if we will be seeing a carry Nagasiren. Usually see her as the support role. Might see Timbersaw rotate into that support role, or vice versa. I mean, Nagasiren does have Hatch, the Quelling Blade, and that Stout Shield ready. So it looks like Nagasiren will be farming this game up. But it's going to be a little weird seeing Chen go into the opposition first. You don't see that too much. It can be effective, but against the lineup of a Nyx Assassin and a Visage, it could be deadly.
Yeah, and
30 seconds to battle.
actually Chen looks like he's just going to go into the jungle now, or he might be just trying to set up some wards, one or the other. The only thing is, if they do this tri-lane with Chen in the bottom, it's going to be a bit hard for him to just pick up creeps, because there's always the opportunity for Visage, Anti-Mage, and of course that Nyx Assassin to just come in and kill him. So it has to be... That's a really weird placement as well. It's not on the ledge.
The battle begins.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. At least they see the rune.
Yeah, I would have liked it like up here on the on the mid ledge, just so that way the Pudge can see more into the mid lane and maybe get some of those hooks off onto that bat right now.
Yeah, especially if it went nighttime. So now the lanes start to form. It will actually be a dual 2-1-2 against a 1-1-3. So immediately you think you might see some death down here. You have DHKTs looking at finding the stun. He decided not to. I mean, it's a Timbersaw. He can just chain his way out of there. And it's fairly tanky early on. Even though he's got 0 armor, he's quite tanky.
Definitely, and you know, if they do try to engage on here, Nagasiren and Timbersaw, as you were saying, they sort of have a... Timbersaw does have the Timber Chain obviously with Escape, but Nagasiren of course has that net as well, which can help allow their allow both of them to just get on out of there.
And Weaver, he looks
but
like...
they do have to be careful.
Oh, sorry. It looks like this Weaver's gonna have a pretty easy time up top. I mean, Chen's not doing too much. Invoker did go for the points in Quaz, so he's not going to have that extra damage. He's going to have bonus strength, and that's not really need. Usually you go for the blades of attack, and you go for Quaz, and then you have a lot of damage at the start of the game, and it'll just keep accelerating up from there. But he went for that Quaz, and he looks like he's just going to sit back, not show much aggression against this Weaver.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting choice. But then again, this entire game is like pretty interesting in terms of lineups and whatnot. We do see some pulling from the other stack from the other camp as well there. So it's those stacking. I just gonna pull those.
Tower is under attack.
Nice decision. Timber and Nagasari can't really do much here. I mean, this tri-lane is going to be in complete control of really anything.
So we have Timbersaw stealing a few creeps there. That's going to help
Anything
him out a little bit. And I think I'm lagging. Am I lagging? No. I don't know.
You seem to be fine on vent.
Okay, that was a little bit weird. So Timbersaw stealing a few creeps from there, and he's going to be happy he picked them up to himself. Now they're just going to rotate back in the lane. They've got almost a double creep wave right here. That's going to help them out. Hopefully they don't get picked off before that creep wave gets there. Not going to happen. So Timbersaw should be able to pick up his Blade Saw or Whirling Death, and Nagasari will hit that level 3. We'll see how she wants to build, if she wants to go for more points in her net or go for those waves for the more damage farm orientated route, which she has been put into at the moment, and that's how they're going to be running that Nagasari. Later on in the game, Nagasari, she's a very strong carry, especially against heroes such as that Weaver and Anti-Mage. She can lock them down. Her net also reveals, so they can't blink, they can't get away. I mean, Weaver still does his time lapse, but using a net to cancel that, to force that Weaver to use time lapse is very useful.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, as you were saying, like, you know, Weaver, sorry, not Weaver, Nagasari is a hero that can carry. You generally don't see her in that role these days, but who knows, maybe hold that for the initiation even bottom.
So we see that Impale coming up. Whirling Death doing a lot of damage, but not enough. Chen will fall shortly after to the Anti-Mage. Visage is going to sneak on his way out of there. Timbersaw doing nice creep blocking to save that Nagasari. They get a double Impale off. Great Impale coming out from the Nyx Assassin. And now, more body blocking coming out. Body blocking from both sides. However, in the end, 2 kills going in favor of anything really.
And that certainly gives them a good advantage in this. Well, they already had the advantage. I mean, Nagasari and Timbersaw really couldn't do much. Tim was sitting on 2 last hits and Nagasari on 3. And if your Nagasari's in that carry role and is only sitting on 3 last hits at, you know, 4.5 minutes in, that's not good. Particularly when you've already also got deaths and you're giving away farm to the enemy.
And a little bit of a misplay coming out by the Chen on Total Anarchy. The Centaur was left behind the tower during that total initiation, so he might have accidentally missed micro, sent himself down instead of the Centaur, and then he got killed. But he just needs to pay a little bit more attention to his creeps, and they can get a little bit of better of initiation, because that stun would have helped him out quite a lot of that engagement. They may have even survived with those 2 heroes if a nice well-timed Centaur stomp was popped.
Yeah, I mean, they might have even been able to capitalize on the kill. I believe it was Visage who fell relatively quickly at the start there with the help of the Timber Chain. Oh, looks like we've got a net. No follow-up though.
I don't think they have too much damage. I mean, Timbersaw's now picked up a point in reactive armor, and that just shows he's going to be defensive. If he picked it up in either of the other 2 skills, they'd be looking for damage, they're looking for finding a kill around the map, but instead picking up reactive armor means, I'm afraid I need extra stats when I'm being initiated upon, and I need to get on out of there.
Definitely.
And then we go 3 hero impale, actually 2 hero impale, and the net is coming out, but Chen, he's still in a lot of trouble. He will fall shortly after. The chain will miss onto the tree, but he'll walk on out of there anyway. So that's another kill going to Anti-Mage. 2 kills and assist before the 6-minute mark. He's going to happily take that, and his Battle Fury is going to come quite fast.
Definitely. I just heard a Invoker Sunstrike, not sure where it landed.
He's being attacked by the Weaver. He might almost fall. No, he won't. We hear a Pudge dismembering Batrider in the middle. He Flame Break to push him off, Podge can't do anything else. He can bottle up and go for one last lucky hook, but it's not going to be the case.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, Batrider does fall very, very low there. But he does have some of those tangos still, so he should be fine. He'll be back up into health very, very quickly. And this anti-mage, he just spent some money. I'm not sure what it was on. I know he's had that ring of health for a while now, so unless it's something on the courier. Oh yeah, there it is.
And Weaver finally gets to be able to pick off the Invoker up top. Invoker just playing a little bit out of position. Weaver makes him pay for it. And if you just want to have a little look at the last hits and denies, every lane's winning their role. You mean Batrider is beating Pudge by a whopping 27 creep kills. You have Weaver, who's beaten Invoker by almost 20 creep kills. And then Anti-Mage, who's demolishing that Nagasaro. And speaking of demolishing, they find a kill on that Timbersaw down bottom lane. Fantastic creep blocking coming out by DHKT. And there's 2 more kills. They both go to Visage, but they'll happily take it. And the Sunstrike going to miss on that Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, and actually that Sunstrike gotta be very careful. If he puts up his spike carapace at a good time, Invoker could be regretting it. But anyway, this tri-lane of anything really is just so much control.
And we've got to dismember onto the Anti-Mage. Will we be able to find a kill? They don't have a net. Hook lands, and they will find a counter kill on the Anti-Mage. So that's what they needed. They find it, and now we might see a push towards this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and it was very nice of Pudge to he picked up that invis, and yeah, there is a lack of vision on the map from both sides here. But yeah, he picked up that invis, he moved into the lane, set up a dismember, followed up by a hook, and that was a pretty good kill there on the anti-mage. It's definitely what they need.
And good guy, Nyx Assassin, buys a Clarity Potion, gives it away to Visage, but Timbersaw just instantly cancels it like the dick he is. So now Pudge, he's looking for a hook, he throws a hook, he lands on the Nyx Assassin, but a great impale, he didn't get that dismember off, and he gets sent back to base. That could be a very big problem if they don't capitalize on these few kills. They're chasing that Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin has boots, so does the Timbersaw. Will he be able to find the kill? He's trying to dodge. He runs into the creeps. He almost denies himself. Anti-Mage on the backhand will pick off the Chen with his Mana Void.
Yeah, definitely. I think they were trying to go for a fountain hook, but Chen was just a bit too slow.
And we have the Sunstrike picking off the Visage in the backlines. So well played, well placed Sunstrike coming out from the captain of Andre, sorry.
Yeah, and here we go, a lasso onto the timber. He's being pulled back, a ton of damage being dealt already. He's pretty tanky though, with the reactive armor of it. And he gets sent back to base.
I'm not quite sure he needed to be sent back to base then. I mean, he had, as you said, he's quite tanky and had a fair bit of health under his name. He's going to TP back in. Now he's got full mana to work with, and he's not going to miss out on any XP. So in the end, it did no harm. Pudge up the top, looking for a kill on this Weaver, and instead he walks next to the creep wave, next to the tower. So he's going to reveal himself. And this mid lane, no one wants any of it. So, good old mid lane.
Yeah, very interesting to not see anyone rotate into there. I mean, well, there's a blink there on Nagasaro in bottom.
Mana Void, not enough, but the Soul Assumption is more than enough to finish off that Nagasaro. So that's another kill going in favor of... Oh, pause. Of anything really.
It looks like, yeah, Weaver's having a little bit of trouble, so exposed there. He has backed up all the way back to tier 1. Looks like he was heading back even further. Yeah, there's a disconnect. But yeah, you know, the plays so far from anything really have been really good. They've ensured this anti-mage gets a lot of farm. Currently seeing on 41 last hits. You know, first 10 minutes, it's decent. It's not amazing, but he has been able to capitalize on kills as well. So he should still be up for a very quick not Shadow Blade, Battle Fury, which will certainly, once he gets that, he can just blink between camps and his farm will skyrocket, and then he'll have his Yasha, Manta, etc, etc. So expect him to get a lot of farm, unless he starts getting picked off here by the side of Total Anarchy.
They really need to get some ganks going. They need this Pudge. He was doing well. He was trying to find ganks. He did find a kill. He's got an assist to his name. But this Pudge, he needs to come back down bottom and try and shut down this anti-mage. And he's one of the only people on their team that can do that, as he has that lockdown. And we see the Impale coming out onto that Timber. So Soul Assumption, not Soul Assumption, Grave Chill. The chain misses Soul Assumption, and that will burn off the Timber Saw. So it was just short. He shot in between the trees. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but they make him pay, and they're gonna find another kill.
Dire's middle tower is
Out
under
of all the places he could have shot it, he shot it in the one place that he could miss. Yeah, but that was a very unfortunate timber chain, and you know, anything really is certainly going to capitalize on that.
And so Anti-Mage 3 with 1 death and 5 assists. That is beyond scary on an Anti-Mage at 11 minutes in the game. Usually you wouldn't see an Anti-Mage with a kill until, or even an assist until 20 minutes on. But he's doing quite well. Total Anarchy though, has been playing a little bit off. Chen's been caught out of position multiple times. Even right now, he doesn't currently have a creep. This is one of the worst things to be with Chen, is a Chen without a creep. You have the Nyx Assassin, he's Vendetta in behind, they're looking at the Naga Siren, Vendetta lands, there goes the one Familiar Stun, and then the Impale. He doesn't have enough mana for the Impale, but another Familiar Stun, and they do find the kill on the Chen, so Visage is more than up to the challenge to throw out the stuns for their team.
Yeah, definitely, and well, this Nagasai has to be very careful. It did start roaming in there, but you know, there are 3 heroes, you have to be very careful. You may have net, you may have your splash, but it's not going to be enough. And Weaver actually picking off Invoker, the hook misses, lands on the creep.
Creep probably deserved it. And now the Batrider, he's rotating back up top. He wants to go one-on-one against this Pudge. He's not happy. He wants to find some blood. But no, he just picks up his Blink Dagger, so he's got a very early Blink Dagger. He's TPing down bottom, so they're going to be looking to find a kill down bottom. Pudge would have seen that TP. Not sure if he thinks where he's going. He's going to TP middle, however, with the Timber Saw, so they're sharing middle lane. So they go from not having anyone there to sharing it. A little bit strange. And now the Batrider, he blinks in. He's not going to be able to find that lasso. He doesn't have enough mana. He can pop that wand, but he's not going to. He's just going to back on out of there. He wasn't close enough anyway, so a little bit of a missed opportunity. He still looks like he wants to jump back in there, however. And now the Pudge and Timbersaw rotating down. Pudge doesn't have enough mana for hook, so I don't know how effective he's going to be. There goes stun number 1 from Familiar. Stun number 2. Visage is soloing the Pudge alone. And then we go, Dismember's been popped out. Timbersaw, he does have Well in Death and his Blade. He throws them both out. He's going to start throwing his Chakra, or Chakram out. Not enough damage to do anything. Pudge does commit suicide. This SS does hit onto that Visage. And now we have the Batrider pulling back in. The Chen not going to be able to send him home in time. So that's 2 kills going in favour of anything really.
Yeah, and once again, excellent Sunstrike there from the Invoker, but he's actually going to get, maybe get picked off there. Weaver's jumping in and actually do kill.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So yeah, his Sunstrike placements have been pretty decent so far, but he is losing that lane to the Weaver. Weaver's sitting at almost 5.2k net worth, and you know, there's nothing that the Invoker can really do against the Weaver 1v1.
Weaver's just so... He's a very avoidance-based hero, and he's just avoiding. Down and bottom there, we've got Familiar Stone 1. Familiar Stone 2 is not going to land, but we have Song of the Siren. And now they're just standing here. They should really start walking very shortly. There we go. Chen's sending Naga Siren home. It will leave Chen, however, very vulnerable. Weaver once again finding another kill in top lane by himself against the Timbersaw, who's got a point in radioactive armor. So that's reactive armor, not radioactive armor. So that's a little bit strange right there. And now Weaver, he might even look to go into this Invoker once again.
I think the Nyx Assassin was there as well. I think he popped his Impale. I'm not sure if the Vendetta was used, but I know he was low mana at the end of that, and he had to pop his mana boots. But nonetheless, yeah, Weaver capitalizing on another kill. And it looks like he wants to go on an Invoker, and there's nothing Invoker can do about it. You know, he takes a ton of damage here from the Weaver. Weavers can just pop that Shikuchi as they're doing, and then the Gen 8 attack, go on again, and rinse and repeat until he's dead.
Yeah, I really feel as if Andre, he should at least get 1 point into that Wex. Down in bottom lane, however, we will see the burning of Visage, he will fall quite easily. We see the lasso going onto the Timbersaw, not the target you would want, but it's a target nevertheless. Anti-Mage blinks on in, picks off the Chen. Familiar's birds are doing a lot of damage. We see the Chakra being thrown out, trying to slow down, but it's not going to slow enough. The Minor Void doing ridiculous amounts of damage, and then he finds a triple kill. But as I was saying, that Invoker, I really think he needs to pick up 1 point in Wex, so that he can pop a Ghost Walk and get on out of there. At the moment, he's got no way of escaping, and Weaver's just making him pay for it.
Yeah, definitely great. We see the hook going out there from Pudge, it does miss. Unfortunately, Total Anarchy, it's gotten to the point, I mean, this anti-mage is so farmed that 16 minutes in. Generally you see an anti-mage really start to come online and get those kills and whatnot at around the 20-minute plus-ish mark, once he does have the Battle Fury and it starts working towards Yasha and whatnot. That's the sort of point where he really starts making plays. However, already he's sitting at what, 4 or 5 kills? No, forget that, 8. And he's this early into the game for him to be that farmed, it's just insane.
Oh, this Chen, he's not having a good game. I mean, he's got no creeps, and then he just used Test of Faith onto a creep instead of Anti-Mage, so completely whiffed his damage. And now Nyx Assassin, he's Vendetta up, looking between all of them. He's trying to decide which one he wants to kill. He comes out, unfortunately, so he doesn't get that damage off and running. But, Chen, you need some creeps, man. He got sent back, he went for the hook shot, unfortunately missed, or not hook shot, went for the hook, missed, but Chen, grab some creeps. You're Chen for a reason. You work with creeps.
Yeah, and yeah, the good thing about Chen is he's so good in the early game. You pick up those creeps, you start pushing towers, start setting up some of those ganks, because you know the creeps, those particularly some of those hard creeps, can deal so much damage. They've got the net which can knock down. You know, you've got your shockwave, things like that. But unfortunately, it's pretty much been you know, a long duration in this game without anything. Oh, and another kill in top. Get that double kill.
Visage, Sarcastic Ninja's been playing fantastic on Visage throughout this entire tournament. His micro of these familiars are just phenomenal. He always gets the double stun. Down in bottom lane, Howell, we got the Vendetta, we got the Impale, we should see the Death, there goes the Chen, and now the Chakram's been thrown out, trying to slow down those heroes, but they still want to chase him. Nice lasso, as soon as he hook-shotted, or tree-shotted, or timber chain, that's the word, and then Anti-Mage will come in for the kill. So that was very well played by the Batrider to get that lasso off just in time. A little bit unfortunate for the Timbersaw, but what can you do about it?
Pudge sends out a hook, does land on the anti-mage, does not fall off the Sperma though. Nyx Assassin comes in for the stun, and they're going to just back off, which is a smart move. This anti-mage, he's currently sitting at 1.7k. They've downed 3 towers now, 3 tier 1 towers. He's got his Yasha, he should have his Manta Style very shortly. And once he has that, I mean, what can Total Anarchy really do about it? You know, Naga Siren's illusions will get killed off easily with the Battle Fury. I mean, I can't really see them coming back from here. This is a very big deficit. What do you think they should be doing, and what plays do you think they need to make?
I really think they just need to give up on this bottom lane, and Chen needs to get in the jungle, start working some levels up. I mean, he's now level 6, so Hand of God's going to come in useful, but he's got nothing towards his name. He doesn't have boots, he doesn't have mechanism, and all that with that on a Chen, that helps a lot. He doesn't have it. In the meanwhile, in their jungle, we see the Timbersaw being picked off, and we see the Sunstruck's not going to land, but I really feel as if this Chen really does not need to walk into an anti-mage. And then we see a meteor come down, lands on no one, Batrider goes underneath it, they turn back around, and Invoker, can he invoke that ghost walk? No, he can't. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, he gets hooked, but they're still going to chase him down. They've got no tier 1 tower to back off to. He will fall shortly after, Pudge will die afterwards. He will actually commit suicide. But Chen, he needs to get in the jungle, start farming, get some XP, get some items. The rest of the team, they need to just give up on this bottom lane. At the moment, every time they go down there, it's just death. They keep getting unfavorable trades. They've lost a tower, and it just hasn't been worth it. So I really think they just need to forget about trying to take these 5-on-5 fights. Try and get at least some farm on their heroes before they do anything. But in the meantime, Weaver might find a kill onto this Timber Saw. He doesn't get sent back in base in time. Weaver turns around, starts attacking Andre. Andre's going to take a Shikuchi, one auto attack with the Gemini attack. He's going to get Ghost Walk and he's going to get out of there. Nice Lincoln Sphere being able to save that Weaver from dying underneath the tower. And at the same time, bottom tier 3 is being pushed.
Yeah, definitely. And in the meanwhile, Chen's actually gone into their jungle and picked up a centaur. So he has been able to pick up a creep, but he really needs just more than a single creep. Needs some farm to follow with that. Nice Sunstrike there, landing on the Nyx Assassin. Unable to kill him, but does a ton of damage.
Poor Nyx Assassin. He's got a Blink Dagger up and he's still being aggressive. He wants to find kills. He's popped his Vendetta. Anti-Mage jumps in with the Manta Star. Nice Ghost Walk coming out by Andre. He's learnt a lesson or two from that top lane. But the tier 3 tower will fall and they're not sure if they want to back or not. Nyx Assassin still hobbling around on 185 health. He's going to be looking for that Vendetta. It will land. He's going to throw out the Impale. It will land on 2 heroes, or 1 hero and a creep. Chen will fall shortly after. Doesn't even get time to pop his Hand of God. Timbersaw will fall shortly after. Hook gets someone. Devourer, but there's no one here. Flamebreak will cancel it both. And then they team wipe. Total annihilation. Or total anarchy.
Get alright eventually.
Well, they did get totally annihilated, so it does work in one sense.
But yeah, that Invoker, even with the Invis, he sort of just stood there and ended up being killed. And now it's going to be the Chen who falls.
So yeah, that happened.
What? A report?
A reprot. That's different, maybe. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Anyway, oh, there's the ultimate from Niger Siren, and Timbersaw's chain, unfortunately, just does not get anything. Sunstrike.
Not quite.
Timber chain misses the Sunstrike.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication from that Naga and the rest of the team, and so they don't get the song off the sign off in time. Hand of God saves. No, it doesn't save the Timbersaw. And now the Pudge is back at base. They've managed to find a kill onto that Batrider, so not all is lost completely. Until Anti-Mage jumps in and then decides to kill everyone on the map. So he finds one, he goes to Pudge, he blinks on out, and now Pudge might fall shortly to this Nyx Assassin. Nice Spike Carapace, keeps him alive. Pudge once again committing suicide. And Visage, Soul Assumption, gets a triple kill on that Invoker.
Yeah, and actually I think it was almost a Fountain Hook. Pudge landed his hook and then got sent back to base just a tad too early. Sorry, that tad too late. The dream is still alive.
Yeah.
This Timber will fall in top.
Well, you never know, they might pull some kind of Na'Vi victory where they get about 10 Fountain Hooks in a row on Anti-Mage and then they win it. But that's very, very unlikely, especially since Batrider now has Brutal Travelers, is back in the action, and he wants to find blood. If a Batrider's looking for blood along with a Visage, well, that's 2 heroes you don't really expect to find it, but in this case, they could find it quite easily.
Yep, attempted Fountain Hook there once again, not quite hitting. I'd like to see at least one this game, just one, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if we'll see it though. And good old Weaver, I don't think he's left his top lane once in this game. He's just sat up here, found 10 kills by himself. Oh, not by himself, he's had a few help, but most of the time by himself. And now he's just going to storm into the base, take on 5 heroes, he's not afraid. Net gets dispelled by that Lincoln Sphere, and Timbersword still ends up falling to that Weaver. Weaver's going to fly on out of there. And now that Cold Snap comes out onto the Batrider, is it enough to kill him? No, it's not. We see Terabyte, he's coming in, he's trying to do any damage to Visage, but Visage is tanky as hell, and now Batrider will jump off into the distance with Invoker. Invoker will fall shortly after. Pudge does not get to deny himself for the 20th time in this match, and that will be a team wipe.
Yeah, man, there'll be the second racks as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go into the mid lane and get that racks as well after killing off that tier 2 tower, which is still alive.
Dyer's middle
Well, they might
tower
just go for the win.
has fallen. Dyer's
I don't know if
top
that's
barracks-
BM or he's enjoying it. I can't tell.
Dyer's top barracks has fallen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if... Oh my god, double divine on anything really. It's one on Weaver and one on the Anti-Mage.
They both drop it, and actually, it doesn't matter. Even if they both drop it, it'd be hard for any of their heroes to use it on the side of TA. Chen uses it. Sure, he could do something, but he's too squishy. Maybe give it to the Nagasara. She can pop her illusions, and illusions could win the fight. But... And we see a Fountain Hook. There we go. There, Will Visage. He doesn't get to get on out of there, and he ends Visage's dominating streak. But Timbersaw and Nagasara, however, die with the Invoker. So. But at least we saw one. That's all that matters.
Yep. Game is complete. Oh, it doesn't hook the... If he hooked the bar, he probably would have gotten the kill there. But it hooks the Weaver instead.
Would a bit of a grudge against that Weaver.
Yeah.
We got buybacks. Total Anarchy. They can turn this game around.
Dyer's ancient is under.
Oh no, they can't.
And that is GG. That was actually fall. The Ancient does fall. It wasn't. Didn't GG out early. But a bit of a fun game there, I feel. Total Anarchy just mucking around, it seems, and just enjoying their last game for today. That will ensure though that Anything Really and Zycon Esports do move on to tomorrow's bracket stages. They will be best of 3s. I'm going to hit that GG button before I continue. It will be best of 3 single elimination. I'm not sure exactly how the brackets will be organized. Hopefully I'd like to see the teams from different groups playing in the first round, so that way just mixes it up a little bit. But we'll see exactly how it turns out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if it was just randomly seeded. It is the first round, or the semi-finals or quarterfinals, whatever you want to call them, will be a best of 1. Every match after that will be a best of 3. So looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And just like to say thank you guys very much for watching.